Yes, sir.
All right, good. So, like I said the other time, I said our topic, we are going to be looking at designing reusable components today. Designing reusable components. This, can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Priscilla,
Yes.
are you in this? Okay, Abubakar, your mic is on.
Yes,
So,
please. I'm here. Please, guys, let's respond to his to him because I may not be active today. I just joined for the purpose of recording. Please, let's respond to him so that he knows that he's talking to us. Thank you.
all right, good. Um,
Can anybody hear him, please?
No, we can't hear him any longer.
Oh, can't hear him.
Okay, I think. Mr. Solomon, please, if you are speaking, we cannot hear you. Okay, I think he's having network challenge. Let's wait for him.
hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we
I hear
can hear you.
Can you hear me? Sorry for the break in
Yes, yes.
my light went off, so I had to reconnect. Are you guys with me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Abubakar, Mr. David. Hello guys.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you loudly.
All right.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, good. I apologize for that. My light went off, so I had to reconnect. So let's quickly move to what we have. So I said we are going to be talking about designing reusable components in Figma. So what do we mean by reusable component? There are atoms, there are molecules and templates. I know this might be strange to you, right? What are atoms doing in Figma or doing in design? What this means simply means just those icons, buttons that we use in Figma, right? That we design in Figma, your icons, your buttons, your input fields, Those are what we call atoms. They are those small less part of our design breakdown. When you break down your design, your user interface, or your mobile app, or your website, when you break them into smaller particles, they are regarded as atoms. So when we say atoms in design, that's what we actually mean. All right. So these are components that are separate from each other. So when you bring these components together, individual components together, they form a full user interface. So that's what an atom is. So we are going to be learning how to design them. We already know how to design our buttons. We'll learn how to design our input fields. Then we'll learn how to use icons in our design. During the course of this particular lesson, I will go back to the assignment that was given to us. Some of us faced some challenges while they were trying to do the assignment. So we'll go over those challenges and try to face them. All right. So when we talk about atoms in design, we are talking about those individual components. In design, when you are designing a mobile interface or a web interface, you use components. All right. Some persons design this component. They just do their wireframe, picture what they want to achieve. Then they design this individual component, then later bring them together to achieve that particular interface. All right. So, for example, if you want to design a mobile app, if you see your OP mobile app, you have buttons there. You have cards, different types of cards, small card, large card, for different purposes. Those showing the account balance, those showing other items in the OP homepage. So those individual, you have your navigation bar, also your navigation panel there. Also, those individual components that make up the user interface is what we call atoms. So when you now bring two atoms together, maybe an icon and button, you put them together, then you add this button to an input field, that is that makes up what? A molecule. All right, just like in chemistry. All right, those who are in the sciences knows what I'm talking about. So when these atoms now come together, they form these molecules. It is these molecules that now form a complete template, right? That now forms a complete user interface for us. So these atoms we are talking about are your icons. They are your buttons. They are your input field. They are the building blocks for a full user interface. So when they come together, they form small molecules, that are small components that are larger than atoms. Then these ones, when you bring all of them together, they form your user interface. So we are going to be going through all of that. These are just terminologies, all right? They are just terminologies that designers use, all right? It's not a big deal. They are just English. It's not a big deal, all right? So I want you to take note of that. So from here, let's run through what I have here. It said atoms are smallest indivisible UI components, such as icons, buttons, input fields. They are the basic building blocks that define fundamental styles and functionality. What are molecules? Molecules are simple groups of atoms bonded together, like a label and an input field. Like what I said just now, you have your label, a label input field. Then you have the label, you have an input field, you have the label. So the label is one atom, the input field is one atom. When you bring them together, like name, or that first name, last name. Your first name is an atom. Your input field, when you put your first name, is another atom. When you bring both of them together, they form one input field, which is last name or first name. So that's a molecule. That's what we're talking about. So when you now bring that first name, then the input field, the last name, the input field, your password, the input field together, that forms a full input field for collecting user data. That is what we now call a complete user interface or template. I hope you are getting it. So So that's what we mean by designing what? Reusable components. So these atoms, these molecules can also be changed to components. Components are okay, yes, these molecules, different atoms and molecules that are joined together are called components. These components are what we use to design. Now there is a way you make these atoms and molecules a full component that you begin to reuse them in all your screens that you are designing, in all your screens. So when you convert in Figma, when you convert these molecules and atoms to components, you can begin to reuse them over and over again when you are designing for different screens. It also helps you to maintain consistency across your design. I'm going to show us in Figma how to do that. It's very easy, very simple. So let's leave all this plenty grammar. So if you can see this slide here, you see what atom is, you see molecules, you see organisms, you see pages and templates. So it is this relationship between these various various items, let me use items, that make up this user interface that you've designed for this particular app or for this particular website. Here you have atoms. So when atoms come together, they form molecules. When molecules come together, they form organisms. Then organisms form a full page of a user interface. So these are just using scientific terminologies to describe what we do in design. All right. So it's what you know, but they are using different terminologies. Don't get confused. Don't say what's organism. Like I've explained, that's all it is. All right. Just forget about this name. It's atoms, molecules, organism. What it means, what atom means is that your icons, all those small things that you use to design, your icons, your buttons, those are what atoms are. So the combination of your button now, like I said, your test, like last name, and you want to design an input field, your test last name is an atom. That small bar that the user is supposed to enter their data is an atom. So when you combine last name and atom to build an input field for user data, it is what we now, when you combine those two atoms, it is what we now refer to as molecule. So when you carry that last name, you design first name, you design password, you design whatever you design to create that user input data, then when you combine it together, it gives you organisms. So when you now combine various molecules to make that user interface together that you are designing, give all what? Pages. All right. So that's what we are talking about in designing reusable components. All right. So we talked about auto layout yesterday. I want to rush over this so that we can move to the practical section properly. So we talked about auto layout yesterday. You can always go back to this slide and the video later. So we talked about auto layout yesterday. What are auto layouts? They make us to design like a pro. Makes your work better. It makes you design responsive websites and mobile app. All right. So this auto layout can be used on frames so that designs will respond dynamically to content changes. I told us in our last class, saving your time and making your design responsive and adaptable to different breakpoints. I told us that elements in an auto layout frame are automatically arranged in a frame based on direction. These elements in auto layout are arranged in a frame based on direction. I will show you where to change your direction, both vertical and horizontal. Then spacing, padding, alignment, and other auto layout properties. When the content changes or elements are added, removed, or resized, the layout adjusts without requiring manual repositioning. So once your component is on auto layout, you don't manually readjust. It just automatically readjusts itself based on positioning. All right. So what do we use auto layout to to use auto layout to create responsive design, such as buttons. You use auto layout to create buttons that grow or shrink as you edit it. Either you want to make it larger or you want to make it smaller. Then lists that as items are added, remove. So you can also use it to design lists. Maybe your design require you to design a list of items. So once you design them using auto layout, you can easily remove or add. As you remove or you add, it expands or reduce. So you don't automatically begin to adjust anything. Then bento boxes and dashboard. You use auto layout to design bento boxes and dashboard. You cannot do without auto layouts in designing a responsive dashboard. All right. Then a web page that fits different screen size. You must know how to design your component when you are designing using auto layout, when you are designing for a website. Otherwise, your website will not be scalable. All right. And websites are usually responsive because people, especially if you want to make it user friendly, not everybody moves about with. In fact, 100% of websites are also mobile-based websites because they are adapted. And what I mean by that they are adaptable to mobile phone because all users uses a mobile phone. All right, so people easily access website through their mobile phone. So to design a website that is responsive to all breakpoints like your desktop, your iPad, and your mobile phone, you must learn how to use auto layout. If that is clear. So these are components of auto layouts: vertical direction, horizontal direction, and wrap. With auto layout, you can do all of this. You can do all of this. Here, once you design something like this, all you just need to change is the repositioning from the tool section. These are properties of auto layout: wrap, horizontal, and vertical. They are all properties of what? Auto layout. You can manipulate your design however you want using auto layout property, like this vertical, horizontal, and wrap property of auto layout. I will show us that. Then component and variant. Component and variant. Components. What are components? Components is a reusable UI element, like I said before, that can be used across a design file, similar to a master template. When you make your element, your design, a component in Figma, it means that you'll be able to reuse that same component across different design. You will see it in your layer panel. In your layer panel, if you make it a component, you will see it in your layer panel. Then all you just need to do, if you want to design a button again for another screen, you don't need to start designing from scratch. You just go to your component, your layer panel, and pick your component, the button that you made a component, and reuse it. All right, that's what components are. They are reusable UI elements. So you can make every of your design, your element, a component, provided you want to reuse them. All right, you can make your icon a component if you want to reuse that icon in different screens. All right, so that's what component helps us to do. You don't need to start designing from you design one button, then you move to the next screen, you want to redesign the same button. No, or maybe you are working on a different file, a different app, but that makes use of the exact component that you designed before. You just go to your layer to where they are saved, and you pick it from the layer panel properties and reuse them. All right, so that's what components are used for. So component allows for consistency. It allows for consistency because it maintains a certain level of uniformity across all designs. So once you design a button component that has its normal, that has a particular size and width, you will continue to, if you continue to use that same component, it means that for across your design, your button will have that, all buttons that appears across your design will have that similar width property and height property. So your button will have will maintain consistency across your design. So whatever component that you design, if you are using it across your designs, across your project or your files, it will maintain the same width structure and height structure. All right, you don't need to start going back to check, okay, this the button I designed for the home page is height 44 and width 300 or something. Okay, before you start, okay, let me do it the same here. You go to the other screen, you have to come back to check what is the height and width of this particular button, because you want it to be uniform. By doing that, you are stressing and wasting your time. But if you make it a component, you just go to your layer panel, pick the component button and use. You don't need to bother yourself about the height or the width, because they maintain the same size. All right. So examples include your buttons, your checkboxes, or your input fields. So variants, what are variants? Variants allow you to organize different versions of a component within a single parent component. I'll show you how to change your element to component and how to get variant of those components. So variants is just the second version. Let me use that word, the second version of that, component that you've created. Assuming you have a button and you change it to a component, then you want to make a variant of that button. All right, you want to make a second version of that button, you just create a variant from it. So you can edit that variant however you want. All right, you can edit the variant however you want. So when you want to use it, if it's the second version or the different version of that component you want to use, you just go to your tool panel where you have your component, you pick any version you want to use. So you get that from making an element a component. You get it from making a UI element a component. All right, so that's what variants are. They are used to represent different contexts or options for a component, such as different sizes, colors, or themes. If you have two colors of a button, if you have two buttons, but they are different, they don't have the same color, they don't have the same size, you can make one a component and make a variant of that component. So once you make a variant of that component, you edit it however you want. Maybe you can change the color of that variant. So whenever you want to use it, the first one is the default, second one is the variant, third one is another variant, variant 2, variant 3, however you want it. All right. So if you want to change, if you want to change the button component from the default, you just go to your tool panel and you pick the variant of that component, because that's what you want to use, the one that has a different color or the one that doesn't have an icon. So you want to use it, you just pick it there and we populate on your frame. You don't need to start designing it from scratch, a different button. So that's what variants are. So interactive state also. Interactive states define how a component appears or changes in response to user interaction. These states provide user feedback to the user. Common example include hover, press, focus, and disable. So you cannot do all of this without making your element a component. It is by making your element a component that you can get variant and you can get interactive states. All right, so all of these are what we are going to be looking at in Figma shortly. Then component, variant, and interactive states. Okay, that's what we talked about just now. Still on this component, variant, and interactive states. Interactive components allow you to create prototype interaction between variants in a component set. I already said it. Anytime you add an instance to your design. So what instances are components like, how do I explain this to you guys? Well, I can show you in Figma, but what this instance is saying is just the instance of your, I don't know, you have a component, an element that you made a component, then you want to use it in your frame. So if you copy that component and use, or you take it from your layer panel, it is what we call the instance of that component. All right. So this instance of that component that you use, you can also edit it, but it takes the property of the component. So if you change the color of the main component, that instance that you are using in your frame, the color will also change. If you change any, maybe the text in your component, that instance that you are using in your frame will also change. But then, if you change anything in your instance, it will not change in the master component. So I will show you that. You might be confused now, but I will show you in Figma, and I won't go to Figma. So what this does is to create interactive elements that automatically switch between variants, like buttons that change from hover to press state, set default interaction at the component level, and remove the guesswork when it comes to building prototypes. I think somebody else will take you guys prototypes. I don't know. Reduce the amount of frames and connections needed to prototype input field, like a set of checkboxes or toggles. I'll show you all of that. So this is what we have for our slide today: designing reusable components, then auto layout that we started already, then component variants and interactive state. So let's move over to Figma and see how we can do all of this. All right. Hope you guys are still with me.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
fine.
Yes.
All right. Hope it's clear so far. Hope I've not confused you guys with chemistry in design. Okay, let me share my Figma screen with you guys. Are you guys still with me? Is
Yes,
Glory
yeah,
on this? Is Glory on this call, please?
Yes, I'm on the call.
All right. All right. Hope you can see my screen here.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, good. So Abubakar complained of something regarding the assignment that was given last I think 2 days ago, I think that was given. So I think let's try and solve that. Let's try and solve the challenges. So Abubakar, please, I don't know if you can come again with your question that you asked at the beginning of the class. If you can hear me.
All right, sir. My question is that I created a frame.
Okay.
Then I also created a rectangle. Then
Okay.
I grouped the rectangle. Then the text also, I grouped the text as well. Then the
Okay.
moment I made an attempt to move the rectangle into the frame, so I was able to move the first one, but the second one I wanted to move to places beside the first one. I was unable to do that. So the rectangle is automatically placing itself under the first one. Then
Okay.
for the text as well, having grouped the text, then I also made an attempt to move in the text into the frame. So the moment I move the text into the frame, then everything is disorganizing. And
Okay.
so,
This is what, sorry to cut you. This is what you did. You brought out a rectangle, right?
yes, sir.
Like this. You wanted to create a button. Be a button you were trying to do.
No,
Was
no, no.
it okay? A card, right?
A card, yes, sir.
like this. You did
Yes, sir.
something like this. Okay, good.
Yes,
You brought a test. Yeah,
yes, sir.
like this inside.
No, no, no. The text I put, I also did that one separately.
Okay, you did it separately,
Yes. So
like this,
the yes, sir, like that.
like this.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
What else did you do?
Then what you taught us that the margin. So I also
Mm,
created the margin into the frame so that whenever I'm
okay.
placing the
Okay. You did a layout grid. You did a layout
yes,
grid.
yes, I did a layout page. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good. A layout grid of how many
Layout
count? Block. How
four,
many count?
four.
Yeah.
I used four.
Margin of what?
I can't remember. Okay, margin of 16. Yes,
Okay,
I
good.
used 16 all through.
Okay. Like this. Okay, let's continue. Then what else did you do?
Then I've forgotten the stuff. That is the margin, 2 point something from the main margin. So I also did that.
Okay. 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 So where did you put your rectangle inside here like this?
Yes, inside. Then I place it from the very beginning to the no,
Yes.
from the first rectangle. I place it from the very beginning to the second
Yeah.
margin.
Yeah, like this.
No, it doesn't spread all through the frame.
Like this. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. What else? You brought your test inside?
I brought my text inside. Then I was unable to bring the text didn't stay inside the rectangle. So that was the
Okay, it
problem I
didn't stay
encountered.
inside.
It didn't
Okay,
stay
it
like
didn't
that.
stay inside when you try to move your rectangle.
I first of all moved in my rectangle. Then that one was successful. Then
Okay.
the another attempt I made was to move in the text into the rectangle, but the text didn't
Like
stay in the.
like what I did now, like this, right? Like what I did
Yes,
like this.
but yes, the one you are doing now, I was unable to do it.
Like
It
you were
didn't.
okay, when you brought it in, it didn't stay here, it went behind.
Yes, it didn't stay there.
Oh, okay, I understand. Like this, it was like this.
Yes, sir.
So when you see, okay, before, okay, you can mute now and listen.
All right, sir.
So I get what you did here. So the issue is this: if you are designing and you come across something like this, the what you just need to do is just to right click, then go to bring to front. You see this option, bring to front, right? And you see this option, send to back. So you just need to bring this, take this, click on bring to front, and your element will show or your test will show. Here we come to the front and you'll be seeing it. If you don't want to do it like that, you can come to the layer panel. When you see this blue line that highlights this text, shows that my cursor is on the text. What you just need to do is to take it above the rectangle. Look at the rectangle here. So it shows that this thing shows that this arrangement here shows that this text is behind the rectangle. You just move it top of it and it will show. Or you just right click and go to the option bring to front. You get the same thing. All right. Now, the card I asked you guys to create using an auto layout. This is not how to do it. All right. This is not how to do it. This is not how to do it. But also, you can also do create the card using rectangle, then later put this whole component inside an auto layout, or this whole card inside an auto layout. But it will be difficult. It will take you a lot of time, and if you don't understand how to use auto layout, you will get confused. That's why I'm showing you the easiest way. So let's design something now let's design a card. Let's design a card using auto layout. So I want you guys to follow me. I want to design a card using auto layout, right? So this is the card header. This is the card header here. Card header, which is your text. Then let's assume that the card has an image, So we bring an image placeholder, which is this rectangle. This is where the user image is, the owner of the card. This is where the owner of the card is. Then let's assume that this header represents the name. Okay, let's say the name is Kemi James. All right, James here. So this is we are using type scale inter semi-bold, then 22 for the name. Then the Kemi James is CEO. Keystone. So now we want to maintain what we call hierarchy in design. I'm trying to show you how you design with principles, right? We talked about hierarchy in our first class. So what you need to do is to reduce the size of this particular test here, because the most important thing here is the name, Kemi James. So because the name is the most important thing here, it has to have a hierarchy than this CEO Keystone Banks. So how do you differentiate between these two? Which is more important here is to reduce is by using size. You can use color, you can use typography to indicate hierarchy. So since the Kemi James here is the most important thing here, what we need to do is to reduce this test here to maybe 14. Let's reduce it to 14 here. All right. So we can also reduce the shade of this particular test. Let's make it a bit less visible. Let's reduce the visibility to this. You are seeing what I'm doing is just go to your field and reduce the visibility to this, or you can go to the opacity tool and reduce it from here, but I just want to reduce it using the color, the field. So let's add this. Now, this is how to use your auto layout. These two now, want to place them together. So you click on this, hold your shift key and click on this. You want to put these two things in auto layout. You click on this, hold your shift key and click on this, or you highlight both tests. You either click, shift, click to highlight both of them, or you highlight them like this. You click, hold, and highlight. Then you shift A for your shortcut key for auto layout, or you right click and is it right click? You left click and you go to your auto layouts here, or you shift A for shortcut, go to your auto layout, add auto layout. So you have added auto layout on these tests, these two tests. So you can move them. See, they are now together. We didn't group them, we place them in an auto layout. You see? So you can move them now. You can move them. So from here, we can further edit this particular auto layout here. If you come here, you will see that the alignment, this one is the alignment here is align top left. We don't want it to align top left, we want it to align to the left here. Bring it here. Or you can put it down the middle, but for this particular component I want to design, we want it to be at the left side. So we align left. So the distance between this name here, Kemi James, and the CEO Keystone, we want to reduce it. What do? You come to the gap here, these two here. Just follow my mouse. You come here, the vertical gap between objects. These two objects, Kemi James is an object, CEO is an object. So we want to reduce the distance. So let's make this 4. So let's make this 4. We reduce the distance. Then we don't want to add padding. Look at padding. This is horizontal padding. This is vertical padding. We don't want to add padding to this yet because this is not our final destination. So the next thing is to what? It is to add both this placeholder image and this auto layout that we've created here, this element auto layout frame that we've created here. Let's add both of them together because we are making a card. Let's add both of them together like this. You shift A using shortcut. Your auto layout tool is shift A for shortcut. So you shift A, then you see your placeholder for your image and this object here, this one here, is now on one auto layout. If you come to your layouts panel, and you are seeing your layouts panel here, you see frame 395. This frame 395 is the container that is now housing this ellipse, which is your image placeholder, and this other frame. This other frame is on auto layout. I told you in the other class how to differentiate a frame that is on auto layout and a normal frame. A frame this is a normal frame. You are seeing the icon here. This is the normal frame icon. Then this is an auto layout frame icon. This is an auto layout frame icon. It's different. So when you see a layer that has this as a frame icon, know that this frame is on auto layout. This is the normal frame. All right. So this one now, you've succeeded in making this, joining this together using auto layout. Now you can also edit this further. We want to reduce the gap between this ellipse here and this particular auto layout, this particular item. So what do? You come here. This is already on size 34 gap. Let's make it 16. So we reduce the distance between the ellipse and this. So you've created this. This now is what? An atom. This is an atom now. You succeeded in creating this atom. If we create another test now, join this together, succeeded in making them a molecule. All right. Now, this one here, the next thing, because we are creating a card, so the next thing is to create the body test of this card. We just want kind of a brief description of this particular person, Kemi James. So you bring out your test tool and bring out your test tool here. There are two ways to write a test. Either you click on test tool, click and write, or you bring out a test tool, you click, hold and draw. This one has a definite size. So whatever you place here will have to contain this box, this text box, until you adjust it. But this other one, when you click and just click and write, does not have a definite size. All right, so it will take whatever tests amount of text you put inside. But for this one, you can just drag, and so you can paste or write whatever you want to write here. When you write and it gets to the edge, it moves to the next line by itself. It gets to the edge, it moves to the next line by itself, because this text box here now has a definite size until you increase or you reduce. All right, so however you want it, you will achieve the same result. So let's get a Lorem plugin. Let's go to, sorry, just hold on. Let's get a dummy test. Let's get a dummy test through plugins. You will know how to use plugins later. Just follow what I'm doing. So I want to get a dummy test for this description. So what am I doing? So just follow me. No. So I want to get a dummy test from Lauren. It's for this our card design. So I take my test tool now, draw a test box here. So come here, let's generate 5 sentences. Look at it. It's too much. Let's reduce it. So these are dummy tests. So what are we going to do? Based on hierarchy, we are going to reduce the size of these tests, because this test is just to show description. It's just to show description. So reduce the size to 14 or 12. Let's reduce it to 12 here. So these are tests, right? So what are we going to do next is to join this test and this frame here together. Remember, it's already on auto layout. So we are building a card, right? So we are going to join this one and this one together. So what do we do is to highlight both of them like this. Or you click this frame, you shift hold and click. So it's best you know how to join in layers, all right? Most of the time, if you don't know how to join in layers, I will or arrange your, I will arrange each of your objects in various layers. When you are trying to edit your components, you are going to get confused. So I will show you, just follow through how I'm doing it so that you know how to join your each of your objects in layers. All right, what I'm doing now, it's in layers. Remember, the first thing I did when I had these two tests, to join these two tests together using auto layout. They are now joined it with this ellipse using auto layout. So they now have frame 395 as one, but each of them are separate inside. Each of them have their own container. All right, so you must learn how to do that. If you went ahead to join these two together before joining this, or try to join these three together at once using auto layout, you're going to get a very bad result. All right, so that is why you must learn how to join using auto layout in layers, step by step. All right, so what are we going to do now is to join this particular frame and this text here, shift A. All right, so we put these two now, this one and this one, in one container, which is the auto layout. We'll put this in one container, which is the auto layout. Remember that we've not done anything about padding or margin yet. So now the distance between this and this, we want to reduce it. Is here. You go to the gap section. Now let's reduce the distance between this and this. Let's make it 24. This is 24. So the distance between this and this is 24. So what can we do here again is to, okay, the next thing to complete this our card is to bring in a social proof, like your maybe this person has a LinkedIn account or a Twitter account. So let's just bring like two so that we can move ahead. So the next thing is to bring in a social proof. So I'll go to my plugin again and go to Iconify to get my Twitter icon, which is X, your X icon. Sorry, see Twitter icon. So this your Twitter icon here. Get one. Then let's get to LinkedIn. Okay, so these two now, this is your LinkedIn, this is your LinkedIn, this is your X icon. So what do? We don't need to write text to indicate this a LinkedIn or this an icon. If you want to do that, you can do that depending on whatever you are designing. So, but for the purpose of creating this card, let's just move ahead. So the next thing is to bring these two together using auto layout. I want to group this X icon and this LinkedIn icon using auto layout. So what do we do is to highlight both of them, like I showed you, and shift A. So We'll now put them in one frame now. They are now together. We can decide to, okay, we can, if you make it, something I also forgot to show you. Currently, this
Look something said.
currently this icon, Twitter and X and LinkedIn icon is on auto. The gap is on auto. What this auto gap means is that you can stretch it however you want. It will have the same distance between them. If you bring it close, you can bring it close and stretch. It will have the same distance, automatic distance between them. That's what auto. It creates a distance automatically between them. You don't want, hello, somebody's mic is on. Please, can you turn it off? Are you guys with me? Are you following at all? Hello, guys. Glory. David.
Yeah, we are with you. You just said somebody should turn off her mic, and she did.
All right, good.
Sorry for the
Good.
late response.
No problem, no problem. So we can continue. So, like I said, you can also place your auto layout in. You can also place your auto layout, the gap between two objects, in auto. That auto means that the distance will become automatic depending on how the distance you want it to be. If you want to stretch, if you put these two in an automatic distance, which is auto here, that's the gap. When I say distance, remember I'm talking about the gap between these two objects. You place it in auto, it means you want it to behave however you want it to behave. All right. So the distance here depends on the stretch that you give to it. If you click on this particular frame and you stretch it to this edge, it will stay there. That will be the distance between the X icon here and this, because it's on automatic. All right. But if you remove it from automatic and impute any number at all, it will behave, it will only have the distance, that distance. Let's make it 20. All right. You see the length of the frame is here. You see the length of the frame, because we are dragging this frame. We are dragging this frame here. We are dragging this frame here, and the frame is not on auto. Because the frame is not on auto, the object inside will not behave, will not move with the frame. All right, it will not move with the frame. The object inside will not move with the frame. But if this frame is on auto here, if you change it to auto here, or you double click, let me show you another way. You double click here. If you double click here, it automatically moves to auto. You see what I'm doing? The alignment, come to the alignment section and you double click, move automatically to auto, or you come to the gap section and you manually impute auto. So these two objects will have an automatic distance between them. So when you are dragging your frame, the icon, one of the icon, there will be an automatic space between the icons, depending on the stretch you are giving to it. All right. But if you make it, if you remove it from auto, you don't want to be on auto, you want to manually give them a spacing, the gap, you just come here and change it to any number you want to change it. So I want to make the spacing between your X icon and your LinkedIn icon 16. So I put it here, 16, like this. So the spacing between these two is 16. So the next thing that we're going to do is to join this one, this frame now, and this frame together. So we highlight both of them like this, and Shift A. All right. So we've gotten what we wanted. But we want to also reduce the gap between these two. All right. So we want to reduce the gap between these two. So we change to 24. Now this is your card. Your card is gradually coming alive. So the the next thing to do is to put horizontal margin. You see that your element inside is too close to the edge of this container. So we want to put what? Horizontal margin to have a spacing between the two edges. All right. So the padding we are going to use is 16. Come to your horizontal padding section, put your 16. Right. So for us to see what we are doing, come here, click on this frame and fill. Let's add fill to this thing, to this container frame we have here. Fill. This is fill, right? It's white. So now we've added a margin here, both left and right horizontal margin. Left and right horizontal margin of 16, right? So top and bottom margin now, let's add it. Top and bottom margin, which is your padding, top and bottom padding. We've added, okay, let's make it 16 too. 16. Are you seeing it? So there is now a breathing space now for your item inside this container. So let's rename this as card. Can rename it here or come to your layer and rename it here as card. So this is your card now, right? But let me show you something. I'm trying to, you see, I'm trying to change the shape, the width of this card to see if it's responsive. You see, it is not fully responsive. Why? Because you need to still manipulate the contents inside. Remember that all we have done so far, everything we have done so far are all on auto layout. So you can easily manipulate them. Are you seeing it? So this is not fully responsive because it's not adjusting properly to the size changes. But this is responsive. This particular test here is responsive, but others are not responsive. So what do we do? If you come here, this frame here, if you click on this frame that houses this frame and this one, this test here, if you click on it, you come to the resizing section here, you will see the resizing. If you come to the width here, you will see fill container. So it's fill container. You must put it on fill container for you to be able to achieve a responsiveness. But if you put it on fixed, what you are trying to do is that, see, as you adjust your frame, that container, this container is fixed. It will not move. So your frame will just adjust, your card frame will just adjust without this frame showing any form of responsiveness, without this frame adjusting, because it's what? Fixed. But for this frame here inside this card container to adjust, you must put it on fill container. You click on it, you come to the resizing section and click on fill container, right? Now, we are not done with this. This test is showing responsiveness, but this one here is not responsive. It's not responsive. So what do we need to do is to come here and click on it. When you click on this frame, you come to the resizing section, you will see that it's on hog content. It means that this particular, no matter how you move your container, this particular frame, this here, content here, will stay on hog. It will stay there. It will not move. It will not respond. So what do we do is to fill. Is to what? Fill container. So if you check the hog, you will see that, look at this line here. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible for you guys. Yeah. Look at this line here. It's on hog. See the container here. This is the content here. Right? This is the content. This contents. This ellipse and this name and this test here is in one content, right? So this content is what we want to make it fill container. Currently, it's on the width is on whole container. So we come here and fill container, right? Let's see if it's responsive now. Still not responsive. What else do we need to do? You come inside this particular one. This one also has its frame. You come here. Let's see if the frame is on field container. You see, the frame that houses both the Kemi James and CEO is on fist. So what do? You field container, right? You see that the length of it are adjusted to this place, but it cannot move. You see, because of the margin that you put on this card, this content cannot. Look at this container here. Look at this blue line. This container here cannot move past this line because you have put a margin on this card. So it cannot, the content cannot move past this line here, right? So now this thing, this one here, you've also put it on field container. Let's see if it's responsive now. You see, it's now responsive. Now look at the flow. Come here, look at where my mouse cursor is. Look at the flow of this card. This icon you are seeing here represents the vertical flow. It means that the arrangement of all our elements inside this card is vertical, right? Then this one means horizontal, right? This is horizontal. It means that the arrangement of this flow is horizontal. Once you click on it here, once you click on it, the arrangement in this our card will become horizontal arrangement, right? Will become what? Horizontal arrangement. Then this one is the grid type. We don't need to go there yet. So for this, if I duplicate this card and I want the flow to be horizontal, what I just need to do, I will not start redesigning. I'll just come here and put this like this. Are you seeing it? You've seen the advantage of using auto layout. If I wanted to design, let's go back. If I wanted to design two cards that have different flow, I don't want this design to be like this. I don't want it to be vertical like this, but I want it to be horizontal. What do I need to do? I will start with auto layout. I will start redesigning. But with auto layout, I just need to make a duplicate of this. I'll come to my flow and change the flow to horizontal. So like this. So this item here, this flow here is now what? Horizontal. Right? So same with this. This is an auto layout. This on auto layout. If you click on the box inside the container inside, which is on auto layout, if you come to the flow, you will see that the flow is on horizontal. Right? You can also change it to the flow is on vertical. You can also change it to horizontal like this. So you've succeeded in achieving a horizontal flow for your card, right? So you can easily manipulate your design using what? Using auto layouts. Using auto layouts. Hold on. Okay. Are you guys still with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So you can manipulate using auto layout. So this is how to create an very easy card. So we can now bring this card here, this one, and put it inside your frame here. Inside your frame like this. Put this card inside your frame. Then we can change the background. So let's change the background color to this. Let's make it white and change the background color of your frame to this. So let's put a corner radius of 10 on this frame. You see, you've succeeded in creating a card using auto layout. So this card is responsive. Let's try and adjust and see what will work. You see, it's just for you to now, you see. So you can increase this, then the distance, increase the distance like this. So however you want it to be, you manipulate your auto layout. Then you can, assuming you want to add a button inside this auto layout, you don't need to start redesigning. What you just, assuming you want to add a button inside this card, you don't need to start redesigning. What you just need to do is to create your button. I told you how to use auto layout to create button last class. You don't need to use rectangle. Those are for beginners. You don't need to use rectangle to start creating your, before you now put group them and all of that. Just take your test tool, write login or contact me. Then you shift auto layout on this. Once you shift auto layout on this, you have your button already. What you just need to do is to change it to any padding you want. I want to put 12 on the horizontal padding, left and right, top and bottom padding. I want to make it 12. Then you come to your fill section, you fill it, pin container, add your corner radius of 10 or whatever you want. Then let's change our fill color from white to blue. Let's change it from white to blue. Or that's not. From white to blue. Then now let's change the text color to maintain good contrast. The text color is not supposed to be black and blue. So to maintain a good contrast, let's change it to white. Now we have our button. But I want to put this button now inside this card. What do? I'll just pick my button and place here and bring it inside. Just bring it inside. You see? But you want it to be below the icon, the social media icon. You just bring it down here like this. Bring it down. Then you increase your card. So let's work on the distances between them. If the distance is okay, you can leave it. But if you want it to go closer or you want to increase, if you want to leave the button like, or you want the button to go across your card, you just stretch like this to this place. See, if you notice that when I was stretching, there was an asterisk red sign to show that, okay, I've gotten to the margin of this. Look at it, the margin. I cannot go beyond this. If I go beyond this, it means that I've extended my button out of the margin of the card. So we leave it there. So you see, you don't need to start designing another card and adding and adding and adding. So you can move this card now however you want, wherever you want. You can reuse this card in all your design. If all the screens you are designing, you need this particular card there. All right. So this is a component as it is. This is a component as it is. But you have to change it to what? A component set, right? You have to change it to a component set. But this is a component. So when we talk about component in design, button like this that we created is a component. This full card here is a component that you can continue to use or reuse as you progress in your mobile app design or your website, right? So we want to change this now to a full component set. What you just need to do is to click on it, come to this section here, two section, and you see this icon here where my mouse goes. So it's called create component. It's called create component, right? Now This create component, if you click on this, it will automatically change to a component set. Let's create it. Click on it. You see? So what is the difference now? The difference now is that this card is showing a purple rectangle lines around it, a purple lines around it. So it means that this card is now a what? Component, right? Now, if you check the icon here on the card, it's no longer in the frame, it's no longer in auto layout, but the component icon is showing. If you come to your layer panel, you will see it here. The colors of the text has changed to purple, and the icon here on the card has changed to this component icon. So it means that this component here is now a component set, right? So this very component here now, you can use it however you want to, right? You can use it wherever you want. So if you want to reuse this, the instance of this is either you come here, you copy and paste. So if you copy and paste here, look at it, you copy and paste here like this. So this is the master component, while this is the instance. Are you seeing it? Let me bring it to where you'll be seeing it. So this is the master component, this is the instance, right? Now, this instance, you can edit it however you want, but it will not reflect on the master component. But if you edit the master component, it will reflect on the instance. I'm going to show you that shortly. How do I also bring my component into my design? Once you've made a component like this, if you don't want to copy and paste, you come to your, let me show you, you come to your layer panel, you go to assets. This is your asset. This is your asset. Once you come to your asset, you go to your libraries. Because I'm showing you this example from my work page. So you are going to be seeing many components that I'm using. This a project I'm currently involved in. So you are going to see so many components here, right? But the one we are looking for is the one we just made, the card we just made. Let me see if I can find it here. So you come here and search for it from your asset. You search for it for your own. It will be easy for you to see it. But because this is a very large file that I'm working on, there are so many components here. So I have to search through. Okay, I've seen it. No, I've not. So another one. So you come here and search like that for this particular component here that you've created. You have to search for it here. Let me see the name, card. I have seen it. So you search for it, card. So if you see it here, you click on it, you see insert instance. It's either you copy, you paste, or you come here, insert instance. The reason why you cannot just be, you might say, it's easier to copy and paste. The reason is when you are working on a large file, this component might be somewhere else. You will not go and start looking for it there to copy and paste. You just go to your assets panel, you search for it, you see it, and insert. Once you insert, it will come populate on your Canva interface, then you put it here. So this is an instance of this. Now, you can edit if another advantage of using component is that when you are working on a very large file, it's easier to edit your work. Assuming you have 300 screens that you've created for a particular design, then your client now comes and say, these buttons, I don't want it to be blue, I want it to be red. And that button appears in over 300 screens. You will start moving from one screen to another to start changing the color. You cannot do that. It will stress you out. So the easiest way is to always use component to design. So what you just need to do, if you say, okay, I don't want it to be blue again, I want it to be red, just go to your master component and change the color. Once you change the color to red, it will show across, it will change across all ever that button is. You are seeing it? I've changed it from the master component and it reflects on the instance. Are you seeing it? Are you guys with me? Somebody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So you see,
Somebody's
you
hand
can
is raising.
who? Okay, go on now. Ask your question.
Maybe she did it in error.
Yes.
go
So I don't know. You created this contact me button. You created.
Yes.
You did not use any shape.
No, I didn't use shape.
You used AutoCAD or auto what? What's it?
Auto layout. Auto layout.
Auto layout.
Yes.
And you did not. You used a shortcut. You didn't go through this.
Okay,
right
I
hand,
use Shift A. Shift A. That's the auto layout shortcut. Shift and A.
Okay.
Shift A on your keypad. Shift A on your keypad. That's the shortcut for auto layout.
Okay, so but if you want to go through this panel, what's it called? This thing on the right, how do you do it?
This one on the right. If you place your text here, this test. If you write your test and you want to put it on auto layout, you will see you will click on it and right click. Then you come to the options and add auto layout. Before that auto layout option will appear on your tool panel for you to now begin to edit. You understand?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good. So hope you are following what I'm doing. So that is one of the advantages of using a component to design. This is your master component. If you want to change anything here, it will let's change the name. Let's change the name here. You see, as you are editing your master component, it's showing on the instance, right? Kevin or say, right? It's showing. So if you change the image here on the master component, it will change here. So if you've used all these components, if you use all these components in all your design, so whatever you change on your master component will also change. Now, if you have two of these components, two instances of this component, let me show you. If you have two instances of this component, let's duplicate this one again here. And you want them to appear separately. You know that if you change from the master component, if you change anything from the master component, right? If you change anything from the master component, it will show on both, but you want them to have separate names because the card is for two separate individuals. You don't touch anything on the master component. You come to the instance and edit. So we want to change this name, this second card, because it belongs to another person, to Mary. This card belongs to Mary John. You edit here like this. Like this. Now, whatever you edit here does not change on the master component. Right? Whatever you edit does not change on the master component. So take note of this. It's very important. Whatever you edit on the instance does not affect the master component. But whatever you edit on the master component affects the instance. Right? So if you don't want this card to be an instance of this particular component here, this master component, you click on it, right click and detach instance. Once you detach instance, whatever you edit on the master component will not affect this component. Let's click on it. You click on it, come to your option here, you see here detach instance. So once you detach instance like this, you see the lines on the frame. You see the frame has changed to blue lines. It's no longer purple. So it means that this is no longer a component. So whatever you edit here now, whatever you edit here will only affect this instance of the instance, but will not affect this because this frame here, this card here is no longer what an instance of this master card or master component here. Are you seeing it? So that is how to create a component in Figma. So this component you can make a button a component. Let's make a button a component. Let's make a button. Let's bring this one up. This button, you see, this button here is a frame. Please excuse me, 1 minute. All right, guys, let's continue. This button, yeah, let's make it a component, a reusable component. What did I tell you? What will you do? You come here to this icon here, you create component. Once you click on it, you have a component. So this button here, you can name it CTA contact me. What am I writing? CTA contact me. So here now, you've made this what? A component. So you can reuse this. You copy, paste, you paste here. Paste here. You can decide to change the color from here. But if you change the color from here, it won't change in the master component. But if you change the color of the master component, it will reflect on the instance. Wait. Sorry. I'm coming. Hold on. Let's see what's happened there. Oh, you seen it? We've changed the color of the master component. And it's reflecting here. So if you want another button, you want to create another button that has an icon inside, right? You want to create another button that has an icon, but you want it to be a component as well, because you know that you have an hover state or press state of that component. What do? Is to click on this master component here and come here. If you come here where you have the name of the property of this button here, you have this icon here. If you hover around it, you see add variants. No, we talk about variant, add variant. So you want to make another button, but the button has an icon inside because you want to use it somewhere else in your design. So you just come here, but that button has the same dimension, the same height and width of this one. But the difference is that that particular one has what? An icon inside. So what do? You just come here, click here, come to the property panel, and click add variant. Once you click on add variant, the second button will show here. This button is now on what? On variant mode. This particular button, you see this line surrounding it shows that okay, this is the default button, this is the variant. You can add more variant by clicking on this plus sign here, add variant sign. You click on it, sign. You click on this sign, you see, you click, and as many as you want. But for this purpose of this lecture, let's just make it 2 variants. Let's make it 2 variants. Let me show you something. Let's make it 2 variants. So default and variant 2. Now, what do we want to do? We want to edit this particular button. We want to change it, the style of this button. So what are we going to do? Let's add an icon to this, contact me. Let's go to our plugin, go to Iconify and see if we can get a phone icon. Let's bring one phone icon here. Okay. Let's bring one phone icon. Look at the phone icon here. Let's reduce the size to 18, the icon size to 18. Now, we can take this phone, this icon inside this button. You click and hold and drag and place it inside here like this. You see? It's here like this. Inside this. So let's make it white for contrast. Okay, now you see, this is a default. This is a variant of this. But this has what? A phone, an icon inside, right? But we don't want the color to be red too. So let's make it, we want to make the color, okay, let's make the color white, then change the text. You see, the contrast, let's change the text color to black and the icon color to black. Like this. So now we want to have a stroke on this particular button. Let's have a stroke. We come here to the property panel. Look at the stroke tool. You click on the plus sign, then there's a stroke around this. So let's change the color of the stroke to red. Color of the stroke, let's make it red. Now, then for this, you can leave it like this, or to make it better, let's make this contact me text, let's make it red. And this red to make it better. Now this is better. Now you now have two type of button, the contacts and the contact me with an icon. Contact me and contact me with an icon. Yeah. Now you can change from here. Let me delete this. If you copy this and paste here, the instance here. Now, if you are designing a different page and you don't want this contact me with red button, this red contact me button to be here, is the other contact me button you want to be here. Instead of just going to, okay, let me show you something here like this. Let's duplicate this frame. Let's say this is frame 1 that we'll design. Let's say this is frame 1. We've designed this frame 1. This is frame 2. We have this button, but we don't want this button to be here. We want the second button to be here. What do we need to do? We don't need to go to our components and start copying and pasting. You just come here, you click on this button. Once you click on this button, you come to this property section. You are seeing it. You see the contact me. That's the name of the button. Yeah. You come to the property. You see default. The default is this one. This contact me red button. Then you see a drop down arrow. You click on it. You will see a variant. So once you click on the variant, it will change to this particular one that you want to use. It will change to this particular one. You see the importance and benefits of components. Using component while you are designing. It makes things easy. It makes things smooth. And if you get to interactivity, micro interaction in design, when you are trying to make icons pop, trying to make your buttons pop, you cannot do without components. You cannot do without changing your elements into components. You must change your elements. You must know how to use component to design. If you want to make if you see some design, there are some designers are showing you prototypes. Prototypes, when they click on button, the button reacts, loads, pops, and all of that. There is movement in your design. They are done using what? Component. The micro interaction are your buttons, your icons, how your icons interact, how your buttons interact, right? So you cannot do without creating components. So this is how to create what? Component and variant. So this is a variant of this. If you want to change it back, you just click on this and come here and make it default button. All right. Make it what? Your default button. So any questions so far?
Okay, sir. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Before you close the chapter here, when whatever you edit on the components, we also have effect on the instance, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now that we created a variant, so is whatever you edit on the component, will it also have effect on the variant too?
Whatever you edit on the
On the
component,
component, yes,
that's the default.
yes. So will
It
it
will not.
affect the variant too?
No, no, it will not.
Okay.
Let's try it. It will not. So this is the right. This is the variant. So login. You see, the login is only affecting the instance on the first frame.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the variant. So that's the reason for the variant, because you want something that is different from the master component, that the default from the default. So when you use the default and you change something from the master here, the master default here, it will only change because you are using the instance of it, right? So same with this. Same with this, sorry. Same with this. But if you change the master anything from the master button, master component, it will not affect the variant. It's only when you edit the variant. Is
All
that
right.
clear?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, good. So any other question before we move to the last lab? Hope we understand this thing that I'm showing you. If you
We will
if you
definitely get it with more practice. So
Yes, with more practice, with more practice. See, we are teaching this thing, I think we are teaching this thing step by step. Now, I'm not showing you how to design a full user interface, but with the knowledge of these things that you know now, you can design a full user interface by yourself. That is why I have to break down this class to atoms. I started using chemistry terminology, scientific terminology, talking about atoms and molecules. What am I saying in essence is that from designing components, from designing input feed, from designing a status bar, you're already building an app. Let's go. Let's go ahead. Let's design an input field. Um, let's design an input field. So let's design first name, last name, login, password, data, email and password data for the user, data collection for the user. So you bring out your test, last name. We are using size, let's use 14. 14. So now you can, if you want to do your own, the way some persons do, if you are a junior in designing, you come, take your rectangle, you put it here like this, you put your rectangle here, you come here, okay, the height, you make the height 48. You make the height 48, then the fill color, you make it white. You make the fill color white, change your corner radius to maybe 10, like this. Then you come, you take your test, enter, you say enter last name. You change the opacity to 50, then you reduce the size to 12, you bring it inside there, then you click on this, you group it, you group selection, then you've gotten your input field here. Then you can decide to leave it this way, then you duplicate it, then you duplicate it here like this. You also duplicate this here like this to, sorry, what am I doing? I said last name, first name, last name, then enter first name, enter first name here. Sorry, duplicate again for the password, email, duplicate again, bring here like this, email. This is an input field. So enter your email. Right? You've gotten this. Let's do 44. The corner radius is too sharp. Let's make it 8. Okay, you've gotten your input field, quite all right. But there is an easier way and a more professional way to do this using auto layout. Using auto layout. What you do now, this you click on this, and you group selection. You've used this groups. For me, I no longer work with group. I no longer work with flattening. I work with auto layout. Whatever I'm doing in design is auto layout. If I'm joining two components together, I'm using auto layout. Right. So there's an easier way to do this using auto layout. So let's design another input field. Okay, let's just bring this test here. Copy this test and paste here, right? Paste here. What I want to do now. Now, the next thing is to create the input field. I'll just duplicate this test here, or you can bring a new test, however you want. I'll duplicate this and write enter first name. Enter first name, then I'll reduce the size to 12. As usual, change the opacity. Then what do I do next? I will enter Shift A to create an auto layout around this text. I will enter Shift A. Now I have an auto layout around this text like this. So I'll come to my padding and try to adjust the horizontal padding or the top and bottom padding. What do I do? I usually like to use 12. I'll use 12 for my both left and right. Then top and bottom, I use 12. Now this is my input field. What do? I'll adjust. I'll now stretch it to this place. And if you see that this alignment, this test alignment is in the middle, but I don't want it to be in the middle because it's an input field. I want it to be where? To the left. So I'll come to my alignment section of my auto layout. If you come here, you see alignment here. You see this three icon, this icon here showing that this thing is on align center. What do? I will now make it align left. I'll come here and click. Look at it. You see where this thing, this is align left, this is align bottom left, this is align top left, this is align top center, this is align bottom center, this is align center, this is align top right, align right, align bottom right. So I want it to align what? I want it to align left. So I'll click on it. So you see the text has moved to the left like this. Now the height, I'll come here, the height of my container here, input container, I want to make it 44. 44. Then I'll come here and fill this my box. I'll fill it. Look at this fill. Then I'll come to my corner radius and make it 8. See, I did not use rectangle. I did not group. I did not go through all of those steps, but I've created my input field, a responsive input field. A responsive input field, right? Now, I can now decide to, I'll hold this, click on this, hold shift and click on my test. I'll auto layout on it, Shift A. I'll put this in an auto layout. So what I just need to do is to duplicate. I'll duplicate this here, like this. I'll duplicate here, duplicate here. So I'll just need to, what I'll need to do is to change my test, first name, or change to last name here. Last name, here, inside, last name. This email. Email. This password. Enter password. Enter Awesome. Yeah, this is it. So this is your input feed, right? This is your input feed. You can decide to put a stroke around this if your background is white, assuming your frame background is white. So you are not seeing it because your frame background is white and you want to maintain contrast. What do? Your input feed, you click and hold. If you want to, okay, you can do it one after the other, but if you want to be faster with your work, you can do this. Click on this, go to your stroke and add stroke to it, right? Then you change the color of your stroke. You can adjust the color of your stroke. Color is on black, but you can decide to change the opacity of the color of your stroke, the frequency. So let's adjust the color. Let's make it like this. Now you can do that one after the other, but that's a lot of stress. What you just need to do, shortcut, you click on this, you hold, click on this, you hold, because if you click on it on this particular input field and hold, if you come to this section, you want to click on that input field, you have to double click to make sure you get to the input field. When you click on the double click like this, when it highlights the input field, you click on this again like this. So when you have this, because you want to put stroke around the 3 items, you go to your stroke and click on stroke. You see, it shows on the 3 items stroke. Then you also adjust the color of your stroke like this. You see, you've succeeded in creating your input field. Now, what you need to do again is to put all of them together like this, and you click hold, and you click this, you hold your shift, click, or you highlight all of them like this. You click and hold, right click and hold and highlight all of them like this. Then you shift A, you put all of them in an auto layout, so you can move them together as one. I did not group them. So with this now, this being in auto layout, you can adjust the distance between them. But if you put all of them in the group, if you want to adjust the distance between them, you start adjusting one after the other. But since this is on auto layout, it has maintained a uniform distance between them. The distance between first name and last name is the same as the distance between last name and email. So if the gap is too much, look at the gap. Here is 20. If it's too much, you can try to reduce it to 16. Like this. So you can move this now like this. This is your input field. Right? So when this your input field comes here like this, and your button, where is it? Look at your button. You can go to your asset and take it, or you come here, you copy, you paste here. Paste here. You adjust. You see? You've created an input field, you create a login. You can create a status bar if you want to create a status bar, put here. You see your from one component that you've designed to the other, bringing them together, you are on your way to designing user flow for your app, or to designing a home interface for your app, through component by component, through element by element, small like that. That's why we said atoms, they are the building blocks. All right? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Any question? Any question? Oh, hope it's clear. If it's not clear, just ask now. Let's do something.
It's clear, but it's a lot. So
It's clear, but it's a lot.
yes.
Okay,
So we have to
I know
go
it's
back
a lot.
to it.
Yes, I know it's a lot, but the thing is, it might be confusing, especially this auto layout. But with time, with time,
Not really, but
with time you
They
will
said a
get
lot of
hold of it.
things at the same time.
The more, yes, the more you use it, the more you use auto layout, the more you understand it. I know some persons who till now they're still afraid to use auto layout. Auto layout used to be one of my most dreaded part of designing. When I started, I was finding it difficult to understand it. I was finding it difficult to understand. Now I understand it better. Now I can even shortcut my way around it. I can shortcut my way around auto layout. Before, there are certain parts of auto layout that certain things, once I design it using auto layout, to edit now will now become an issue for me. I was like, how did this person do this? How did this person do it? But with time, you will understand it better. But the thing is, you cannot do without using auto layout. You cannot do it. If you start doing real world project that you have to design up to 300 screens, 100 screens, 150 screens, you have to know how to use auto layout. And if you want to start prototyping, you must learn how to use components. Like I taught you now, how to convert your design to component set. So I'm going to be dropping an assignment for you guys based on what we've learned today. Then again, I know this is my last class with you, but I would cross-check with the host, Priscilla, if the person taking your last the week 8 or week 7, I don't know. If the person doesn't teach you prototyping, I will still take the class because I think I have it on my slide already, but from the timetable, that is not my topic rather. So that is that. I hope we all understood very well how to use auto layout to create button and input field.
For me, I'll have to go. I understand, but like if Oluwa said, it's a lot. We have to go back to the video, watch, and then practice alongside.
Okay. So So if I give assignment and you guys will be able to do it, right?
So I
Based on
think
what
we
you
need to
said,
watch the video.
I think so.
Yes. You will use the video to do the assignment now.
The video will be uploaded latest Monday. I mean, Monday evening or Tuesday, so that
Okay.
everyone can have access to it.
Okay. And again, okay, before I go, thank you very much. Before I go, I want to just chip in a few things for you guys, yeah? We still have a couple of minutes, like 5 minutes. So just listen to me. See, if you are practicing during your learning experience, you must make sure that you are practicing along with whatever video you are using. If you go on YouTube and you are watching a video tutorial on design, on any aspect of Figma design, you must make sure you practice along with it. Don't just watch and consume, then later you go to your laptop Figma app and start designing. That is not the best way to learn Figma or UI/UX design. Practice along because there are certain things that the tutor or the person you are watching the video might do that you might not pick at an instant, right? But if you are practicing along, you will be able to go over that thing again. But if you just watch and go to your Figma, you'll be confused. There are little details that might be the difference between why you are getting your design wrong from what you watch. Very little detail like this, you can just miss it in that instant. And when you try to replicate that particular design, you are not getting the good actual result. So the best way is to watch. As you are watching, you practice alone. And also, number 2, make sure you spend nothing less than 5 hours every day. I know many of us are busy, very busy business people here, yeah, with kids as well. But if you actually want to achieve something with UI/UX design in the next 3 months before December, you want to be good and comfortable in saying, okay, bring me a work, bring me gigs, let me do this, let me do that for you, is when you spend hours. During my learning experience, and I'm still learning, I'm still watching videos, I'm still attending some webinars, yeah, from very senior designer that have over 10 years of experience in design, yeah. So during my learning experience, I used to spend nothing less than 8 to 10 hours, although I'm a bachelor, so it's easier for me to do that. And the work I was doing before was also a remote kind of work. So I had the freedom to, I was always at home, because I was working from home, right? But that might be different from you guys. But if you have the time, if you are the type that have the time, you must spend hours in learning. It will shorten the number of months of your learning experience, right? So those are the few things I just wanted to share with us. Take your time. It's not hard. Design is not hard, yeah? Design is not hard. Figma design, but you must know the principle basic, because this product design is one of the most saturated niche in tech. It's not one, it's the most saturated, along with data analysis and a couple of others, yeah? But product design, UI/UX, is the most saturated. So it is becoming difficult by day to actually be out there, bring yourself out. So if you are not good, you might find it difficult to make it. So you have to do everything possible to know what you are doing if you actually want to use product design, UI/UX design for something better. All right. I think that will be all for now, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the section. Guys, honestly, it's not funny.
What can I say? It's okay. It's fair.
It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny doing this kind of class, because it always look as if I'm talking to myself.
But the class was not boring anyway. I
No,
believe
okay.
that when we watch
Yes.
video again,
Yes.
because some of us are new to these things, and those terminologies are strange one kind. So
Don't bother yourself about the slide. Just go to the Figma section of the video and you will understand everything. If you go to the slide, you will get confused. Don't bother yourself about the slide. Just go to the video, the Figma practical section, and watch. All right? Okay, good night, folks.
Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Thank you for your time. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you all. Thank you
All
all.
right,
Thank
sir.
you.